Sun in my kitchen.
Nice
That's
one,
it.
Gwyneth.
Pardon?
Beautiful.
I
I'll leave
liked it.
I'll leave it at that for now.
You rest your case.
Yes.
Okay, so moving on to Seamus.
Oh, thank you. Excuse me. Yeah, and this is one I actually for last year's challenge. Last year's challenge was spring as well, but I wrote this one and then I took it out again and looked at it, and I, like you do every spring, tidied up a bit of spring cleaning on an old poem. So I'll give it to you again. It's slightly tweeted, and it's called "Spring Has Sprung." Spring has sprung from winter's dung, and summer's on her way, and worms they dine, and slugs spurt slime, and snails come out to play. Honeybee peeps out with glee. Is that a blossom bloom I see? And bleary-eyed the queen looks up. Get back to bed, you cheeky pup. Gaunt trees, dark bark, exposed so dark, in leaveless nudity. Lost lawns lie fallow since last All Hallows, in need of TLC. Snowdrops drip, last year's rose hips basked in the melting airs, whilst birds wild scurry, tense with worry, to build their twiglet lairs. Wee lambs they bleat, neath sheets of sleep, as ewes kneel down in awe, craving tons of southern sun, to shiver, shimmer, simmer, thaw. The ploughboy's hunch of rain by lunch, borne out by fragile breeze, warmed by the thought, each drill he's wrought shows off his expertise. And the plumping sun toasts hot crass bums with tidings of rebirth. Jesus Christ was thus enticed to this God-forsaken earth. There you go.
Nice one. I've read it recently to Seamus.
The old
But
one?
you sent it to me for inclusion on poems on our notice boards.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Good. That spring has sprung from winter dung, and you know, I hope that you like it. And I suppose you want another one.
Yeah, no, the two if you'd be so kind.
I actually misread, and I probably will speak about it later, but I actually misread the challenge for this month. And I thought it was in the beginning. So the beginning, like spring, the beginning. So I actually half wrote a poem called In the Beginning. So when we finish tonight, can I pose that as a challenge for next month? Because I've half the work done. I just put that down there. This is a poem I wrote. It was a poem, it ended up as a song, but it's a poem I wrote as a Valentine's, and sort of, we missed Valentine's this time round, and it's called the Unsung Song. I could never write a song for you and give the world my unbiased view, because half of them wouldn't understand, and those that's left are out of hand. Ah, now, honey, let me expand. Them notes slip through my fingertips and the words get stuck on my puckered lips. Ah, now, honey, the more I try, my guts in knots and my strings tongue-tied. Oh, just to sing for you. I could never write a song for you, expose my prose and rhymes too few. My spelling's a complete disgrace and grammar slips all over the place. And now, honey, I'm a waste of space. When them notes slip through my fingertips and the words get stuck on my puckered lips. Ah, now, honey, the more I try, my guts in knots, my strings tongue-tied. Ah, now to sing for you. I could never write a song for you, to sing of love that's pure taboo. Thoughts of you raging in my head, I'd rather say it to your face instead. because them notes slip through my fingertips and the words get stuck on my puckered lips. And now, honey, the more I've tried, my guts and knots and my strings tongue-tied.
Mm.
That's it.
Yeah, lovely.
Thank you.
Right, another
Yeah,
one perhaps, Seamus?
You
Another
set
one?
it to music.
Yeah,
You should set it to music. and see
Another
it
one.
next time.
Where do you want to go with it? I mean, I can give you another one. I can go all sort of, let me try this one. It's a poem I wrote. It's again, it's to do with spring, and it's to do with, it's actually the Irish Easter Rising. And I see you're flying the red flag there. So this is James Connolly, who in their wisdom, the British government put down as a revolutionary. And there've been songs written about him, but they're all infantile Republican crap. So I wrote it the way it should have been written. A large crowd had gathered, at least that's what they say, outside of Kilmainham as the dawn made its way to the 12th day of May. But I hasten to differ, and shoot me too if you please. When the murdered James Connolly, nothing stirred, only the gunpowder breeze. And the trim and quick lime his name to erase, James Connolly rose up, and he still moves among us, and I feel him these days. When they need resisting, corrupt like their laws, feel free to free freedom, James Connolly will be there, back in the cause. If they think that you're beaten and they think that you'll break, remember James Connolly, he'll always be there for you and your sake. So long live James Connolly, united we stand. He's a phoenix immortal, a rebellious angel, so more than a man. Yep.
I hope the rebels.
If you know James Connolly, it might make the hair stand on the back of your head. Thank you.
Cheers, Seamus. Perhaps we can hear from another rebel and have a few madness mumbles by Michelle.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon. I've just had some brilliant news. And a friend of mine was on a ventilator for the last 4 weeks, and they've just taken him off the ventilator. And he's
Yay.
breathing through a breathing machine. So I'm quite excited by that. So I hope nobody minds me sharing it, and I can't see it. So I'll leave my hat off. Okay, lovely. So this is called Call. To put you through to the right department, please press 1 for total frustration, 2 for total exasperation, 3 for losing the will to live, 4 for climbing up the walls, 6 talk to a robot, and 7 frustration. 8 will be someone from another continent who you will not be able to understand. Due to the high volume of calls at the moment, you are held in a queue. You may want to hang up and try again or send an email. You are held in a queue. Your call is important to us and we shall answer your call shortly. Crap music plays loudly. Your phone is on speaker. All our operators are currently busy. Music plays. Our operators know you are waiting. We will answer your call shortly. We will now play you even more really annoying music. The music is designed to be irritating. Music to wind you up, inflaming your thoughts. What will we do? Nothing. Person on the end of nauseating music is not called Tom. You're hard of hearing and you can't understand, and they can't understand what you are trying to say. They say you are inaudible. You are slightly deaf, and they are extremely incomprehensible. accent makes it hard to understand what they are saying. This is extremely difficult for you. It makes what is exhausting exasperating. You pressed 1. You know you'll get greeted by some irritating message. Press 1 for leaks, 2 for pain, 3 for drains, 4 for a thump on the head, 5 for a punch in the stomach. This is the most nauseating, annoying, bothering, infuriating, irritating, agitating music you have ever heard. This will be a big waste of your time. We won't fix your problem, but we will pretend that we will. You have now been online for 45 minutes, listening to intensifyingly increasing, worse, grating of this horrible music. Your blood boils. You must calm down. High blood pressure. Press 1 to be ignored for 20 minutes. Press 2 to be ignored for 20 minutes. Press 3 to be ignored for 30 minutes. Press 4 and be ignored for 40 minutes. Press 5, be ignored for 50 minutes. Of course, press 6, be ignored for 60 minutes. And if you press 7, we'll cut you off. And you will have to redial and press 8. You might get lucky. An operator might answer your call. We hope your blood pressure is rising and that we are causing you hypertension, aggravation, shock, perhaps. We hope you get irritable bowel disease waiting for our operator, who knows you are waiting. Remember, reference number or not, you will have to tell your story from start to finish. You are held in a queue, and we know you are waiting. The operator will be with you shortly. We have robots to answer your calls in order to put you off. Your call is important to us, and that's why we have a robot, so that you don't get to talk to anyone. Our call centres are not based in the same country as you live in order for us to pay low wages. Our shareholders need to be paid vast sums of money at the end of each year. You are held in a queue. Your call is important to us, and we know you are waiting. The intensification of crap music for the last 44 minutes is grating in your head. Please note, we record conversations for quality purposes and staff training. Your call is important to us, and we know you are waiting. You have now been on hold for 1 hour and 30 minutes, but your call is important to us, and we know you are waiting. Our operators are trained in deflections, gobbledygook, and they are paid to wind you up, as you will be so annoyed after listening to the irritating music. When the person answers, you'll be lucky if you can understand them. You have an impairment, right? You have limited hearing, and accents are difficult to understand. Press 1 to crack open your head and essential repairs. Press 2 for a hammer to the head and at least 30 minutes wait. Your call is important to us, and an operator will be with you shortly. By this time, you really feel like smashing your head on a brick wall, right? Cracking it open and allowing blood to soak on the floor. There's nothing more irritating, frustrating, and exasperating than an unanswered emergency call. Blood pressure boils just as a kettle explodes. Someone now has to dial 999, and everyone has to go to hospital, putting even more strain on the NHS. There we go. It's not
Superb.
necessarily about
Wow.
spring,
Great.
but it is about
You,
our experiences.
You should put
Familiar.
that should be recorded and put on instead of that boring, repetitive computer music, lift music they put on in the background.
Oh, it's awful, isn't it?
Such
Yeah.
awful
I
music.
hope you don't mind if I say you've got the perfect voice for it.
Well, I've been rehearsing, you know, and I've had really good teachers. All right, I'll try this one out. It's brand new, that one, by the way. And this is brand new too, so we'll see how it goes. This is sort of about spring. This time last year, we lived in fear, anticipation, held back by impending doom, a government with no ears. We waited to hear the announcement as dead bodies stacked up. No announcements, and spring was late. Unlike now, the blossom was not out, and I missed out. This time last year. Today, a dove and a crow visited my garden, which is a balcony on the 4th floor. This time last year, we were on tenterhooks, waiting to hear the words, but the days and the nights went by. We waited far too long. Birthday candles had already turned into memorial candles. As people fell from life to death, taken too soon by the angel of death, and you were already sick. The country had not locked down. That's why I missed out on the cherry blossom, the daffodils, and the snowdrops that paved the way. The spring I lost last year, the bell would ring and bags were left at the door, and I'd ring my bell back and say, "There is plague here," a year on. And some friends are now lost, and some are still not buried yet. Funerals without hugs and tears, how few understand. The schools are due to open again, unless of course you go to Eton, which won't open till the 29th of April. So that's that one. Bit of a sinister end. Have I got time for one more?
Yep.
Okay. This is another repetitive one. I'm into repetitive at the moment. Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day. Forget to clean my teeth? No need for breakfast. Not going out. Put the bed away. I had been sleeping in my living room in lockdown. Herd immunity. I'm sick. I'm not sick. He is sick. I'm socially isolating whilst pretending to be the lady with the lamp. No information, no tests, no home visits. Doctors over telephones. Dial 111. You are held in a queue. For coronavirus, press option 3. You are held in a queue. If you have difficulty breathing, please hang up and dial 999. No PPE. No coffins, no funerals. There are dead that need burying. Groundhog Day. Forget to clean teeth. No need to brush hair. Remember to wear gloves and cover your face when taking food to the sick. I'm not sick. I have pink eye. I'm in the living room on the put-up bed. He is in the bedroom, sick in bed. He gets worse by the day. 111 is useless and of no help. Remember to use your second bathroom. The GP is also useless. The ambulance said he didn't have it. There was phlegm in his cough. He can't get out of bed. Groundhog Day. I forget to clean my teeth, but put my bed away. I make the porridge, give him a child's portion. I'm tired of potato and carrot soup with no spices, and I'm scared of how ill he is getting. I'm scared too, I will get ill. I have pink eye and I cry. The virus, if I have it, and I will not know as I can't be testing, as testing was stopped, unless you're in hospital, testing was stopped. Groundhog Day. I forget to clean my teeth. I put my bed away. I do not brush my hair. He's called the doctor. His breathing and face are painful to look at. The doctor said, he's fine. The doctor's not here. They're on a telephone line. He's wheezing when he breathes. He can't eat and looks like a ghost. Fuck the doctor. I dial 999. They come quicker than before, nicer than before, and they have a checklist, and he scores 7 out of 10. They are taking him in. I pack a bag, it's all very fast. I forget to ask, where are you taking him? I find out later after calling the local hospital where he is. I think I must clean the room. I look for information and I don't find any. I leave all the windows open and close the door. That way the virus can get out. From the hall, I can hear the wind day after day, rampaging around the room. The windows are open to let you know you must come home. I stay in the living room on the put-up bed. I've been here for 18 days or more. I can't go out. I'm in quarantine. I must self-isolate as the government changes words. Surely quarantine is better than isolation. Meaning I'm doing my best not to spread. Did I have it? Have I got it? After all, there are people with no symptoms, but these people spread. I continue to experience my groundhog days. I forget to clean my teeth. I let the wind hold your spirit and tell it to bring you home. I keep the door shut and let the wind do its work to clean the room. It's groundhog day. I forget to clean my teeth, keeping up my spirits on day 21 of the plague. I'm groundhog day, herd immunity, nerd immunity.
No.
Dyslexia plays havoc in my head. Mentally, not immunity. The government sits back, feet up. Matt Hancock is back on the telly for 5 p.m, briefing of lies and more lies. They all have PPE they need. We are doing testing, tracing and quarantining. I can't get tested, I scream at the telly. The government has deserted us. If this was a war, they would be shot. This is the charge of the Light Brigade. Perhaps some medical staff are overusing the PPE, he suggests. Is he an irrelevant tosspot? He sold the chain of PPE to a private company on March the 29th, 2020. Groundhog days have now got worse. Still, I forget to clean my teeth, brush my hair, wash my face. I'm in quarantine. Groundhog Day. Thank you.
Wow.
Sharp.
Sums it up.
I think people are getting a bit tired now, aren't they? A bit sort of. I went out for a walk last Wednesday, and just along the river, on the south bank, I just bumped into people, and it felt like moths coming out of the closet to get fresh air because
Yeah.
it was a really
Mhm.
sunny
Yeah.
day.
To escape.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks, Michelle. Toby? Debbie Mac? Okay, we had 3 comments from you.
Who? Me.
Debbie McNamara.
Who's that, Richard?
You broke up on us.
Debbie.
Is he frozen?
I don't think she can hear us for some reason.
It's his
Maybe.
picture. No,
Okay, I'll
his
move on to
picture's
Christopher.
Have
gone.
you frozen, Richard?
Shall we send him a chat?
What, who, me?
I'll
Can
send
you
him a
hear
chat.
me?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, that's
We
good.
can't see you.
Right,
I
so
can
I'm
see him.
here.
and we're playing hide and seek.
I can see Richard. That's because I'm sitting next to him.
Hiya, Debbie. We've got you, Debbie. Can we
All
have
right,
you
there
on?
you are, Richard.
Oh. Okay. Debbie Mac next. Okay, all right. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Deb.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi,
Yeah,
Debbie.
I'm wearing my hat. It's quite itchy, so forgive me if I scratch. Yeah. So I've just got one poem to read tonight, and I understand it's actually on the notice board at the Highgate Society hall, because Christopher took a little video and put it on Facebook and said, "Oh, look, we've got one of our poems up there." So that's very exciting. Thank you, Richard, for getting that together. So this is that one, and it's an attempt to be a little bit more positive compared to the stuff that I've been writing lately. It's called Poets Ad Astra. Breathe with me. From where you languish in inner city, lock up, down, sideways, stasis, asphyxiation, sliding on tectonic plates in your miserable chasm, counting gravestones, keeping a tally of numbers of infections in hundreds of thousands. Look up into the ether, press that button on the keyboard and propel into cyberspace with your passion and verse, traverse the continents, the asteroid belt, to flock with birds of a feather in a seagull sky, whooping and hollering in glee like a digital Persephone, flying beams of light around the globe, vapor trails of pixels and rhyme, wisps and tendrils of musing and wonderment, bouncing off comets and space junk. From survivors' poetry to the Highgate Society, to the windy beach, and at your place in New Zealand, grassroots, sacred grounds in California, global open mic, Northern Ireland, Malaysia, a celestial chatter. Drink from the chalice of dreams, an international intergalactic Wi-Fi communion of souls seeking solace, holding hands across virtual nothingness, longing to express. Press that button on the keyboard, transmit, receive, and breathe. Thank you.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
That's it from me for tonight. That's all I got.
That's excellent. Really
Have we lost
enjoyed
Richard again?
reading it when it was sent
Oh,
through.
I know.
No, he's out.
Richard with his.
Sorry?
Okay, Christopher.
No, that's. Oh, all right. Yeah. Can you hear me all right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Shall I read you last month's one? Because I was last month I was asleep. Hold on.
That's, that's a very common state of affairs, I think.
Well, it was because I had my
For me,
oh
Speaking of me, I don't know about you now. I wouldn't.
no, I had my injection, my first injection that day, and or the day before. Oh, bless you.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you need to be blessed many times.
Nothing to do with the Highgate Society.
Yes, apologies for that. It was because I had my COVID injection the day before, and it made me very, very tired, and I went to bed and I slept right through it. So yeah, okay. That wasn't my poem, by the way. So if I read you the last month's one, which was promises and U-turns. Dictum meum pactum on coat of arms, proud motto of the London Stock Exchange, says my word is my bond. Now please stay calm when there's market havoc and all's deranged. Promises, promises, all heard before. A deal's not a deal till the ink is dry. A contract won, but read in tooth and claw. Will it be honoured after their goodbyes? Or will there be some dissatisfaction, one party feeling it has been outdone, leading to ill will, perhaps, infraction, being the underdog's never much fun? Is it up for negotiation? Not in 1980 Conference Blue. Thatcher stood for liberalisation, uttered famous phrase, "You turn if you want to." This followed up with "The ladies not for turning," a pun by her speechwriter, Sir Ronald Millar, taken from the play "The Ladies Not for Burning" by Christopher Fry, where Thomas Mendip's the star. Now I promise to switch from political quotes in a complete volte-face, a sea change reversal. I'll converse about anything that floats your boats, e.g. how rudders cause ships to turn full circle. Or what a trial it is to find a good plumber, to see your U-bend, which he calls a P-trap. If you know one, then please give me his number, and I promise to end now and call it a wrap. So that was last month's.
Christopher,
Yes.
isn't Market Havoc a town in Northamptonshire?
So it's what?
Isn't Market Havoc a town in Northamptonshire?
Hold on. Market. Hold on.
You thinking
Yeah,
Market
yeah.
Harbour?
Market Harborough. Market Harborough. Hold on. Where did I say that? Hold on. I said it somewhere.
Okay, enough. I withdraw my question.
No.
The pleasure of posing it.
Oh, all right, well.
Hello, Joyce.
Oh, I can't find it, but yes, it was a joke. Yes, I know. Now, just a minute. I've got bits of loo paper here as bookmarks. Okay, so this was this month's challenge. So this is what I heard. Something positive. Spring is here. The dawn chorus this morning. This is what I heard. Before light had broken, robin, Eurasian wren, followed by tawny owl, preceded by blackbird, making beautiful cacophony, quite a din. The true god nature presenting its first season of the yearly calendar as a positive sign. Fears it will not arrive are quite beyond reason. Weather forecast promises conditions benign. Lambs spring in the fields or are sold fat off the dam, raised as ewes or straight for the plate. Rumours abound. Late spring and all summers a quiet time for the ram. No need for tupping till autumn comes around. Chicks hatched are no longer bound by shells, their battle won. Trees in leaf, plants sympathise, bursting into flower. Happens every year, despite all evil man has done. Nature does as nature will, with overwhelming power. Confusion reigns about the date. Has it now begun? Astronomical begins around the 20th of March, dependent on Earth's orbit relating to the sun. Meteorological on the 1st makes one's eyebrows arch, where rising temperatures key could lead to a démarche. Spring is here. Let's sing and dance around the maypole, or roll a wheel of Gloucester cheese down Cooper's Hill. Welcome Easter after the equinox vernal. Clean the house, paint eggs, hide eggs, eat eggs, what a thrill. That's what I heard in the dawn chorus this morning, although it seems earlier since the clocks have changed. No more red skies signalling a shepherd's warning. Positive thoughts and occasions have been arranged.
Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Nice one, Christopher. Right, anything from your mum? Anything from Joyce?
Where are you?
No, you don't want to read anything, do you? No. Not this month. Not this month. Well, you did
Okay.
one about Uncle Jack, but probably not.
But Richard,
Yes, Dennis, you're on next.
all I can, oh, me, am I? All I can see is Highgate Society.
There you go.
Oh, there you are.
Where is that?
Highgate Society.
Christopher.
I want to see your pretty face.
Oh,
Come back, Richard. All is forgiven. Oh,
how's that?
Oh, there it is. Okay, you can turn it back. Okay, as you know, I
Have an echo.
As you know, I am a glass half empty person. I've got to start with two poems under the same heading, simply March poems, and they're fairly short. They are short. The first one is called a blue poem, and so blue, I'm going to have to put my glasses on. Blue poem. Feel the slow, relentless reduction of corpus waiting to be corpse. The old banger kept on the road, fitted up with parts that don't quite fit, until it will not go a moment longer, a millimeter more, and must be towed away, for it is holding up the traffic flow. Maybe you'll hug me when you get out of bed, and the scientists permit. That's the happy poem. Did you clap?
yes.
Oh,
I
no, what-
liked your intonation.
The next one is a purple patch. It's also the second in this duopoly, or what is it, of poems. Purple patch. The old banger stirs in the garden shed, stretches, ouch, lies in a little longer, sits up, coughs, farts, pinches itself, drives into the sunrise, hears the blackbird dueling with the thrush, spits, why not? Skids a while on the thin-skinned rubber, shakes up a cyclist, swerves a hedgehog, narrows a crossing, up dales, under bridges, down hills, through rills, racing, thrills versus spills, takes tea and a bun in the sun set of its days, in the fun that spring brings in.
Excellent, Dennis.
Okay, this I see is a whip. Without the H, that means work in progress. It's a cop-out, of course, work in progress. And it's called What is Today For? I don't understand this poem. If anybody can help me, I'll be much obliged. What is today for? And I ask, why this day? What is it for that wasn't done yesterday or cannot wait for the morrow? You make it sound so special, a Mr. Fermat's theorem or Churchill's Havana cigar. Today, it's never not there. To bed in the gloom, wake up to the sun, and still today, unlike yesterday, or never seen tomorrow. And yet the silly rules imposed by puffed up bodies busily planning our day. Breakfast at breakfasting time. Do not hug granny until the corpse has been certified non-toxic. Go to school except when you don't go to school. Our forefathers, who dropped from the boughs of great trees and joined their fellow mammals on the savannah, they didn't wear trousers or brush their teeth. and only ever dined when one among them speared an eland or an ostrich. The whole of today was their school, the language rough and rude, the sweat and threat, the killing and being killed. Survived to the night and you'd had a good day. Lived on to spawn and spawn again until we were born and climbed back into the trees and the mansions of the mind. Child, what have you learnt this day, apart from the mortality rates? Help.
Excellent, Denis, as always. Well done.
All right. You seem to have
Thank you.
understood.
Right, so here we go. We've kind of 3 from me. Starting with
What's that?
starting with my response to our challenge. Something I've learned from Christopher is not to be so kind of
All right.
something.
This, I think, improves it better.
But something I learned from Christopher was to put a spin on things. And so in terms of something positive, a poem called Greater Than Zero. He's greater than zero. He's more than one. The sum of his parts, a coachload of fun. He comes with good news, stuff you want to hear. He's here in the day, a night without fear. Starred at her wedding, her most welcome guest. Never a naysayer, always says yes. When this is all over, when it is all done, greater than zero is more than just one. He's better than average. He's better than good. Superb in a forest, chopping up wood. His jokes make you laugh. His brilliant puns, the sum of his parts, a coachload of fun. Answers to you in the affirmative, knows no bad words, is always constructive. When you have been dumped, your eyes full of tears, it comes with good news, stuff you want to hear. Yea, this good news man, always positive, he won't bring you down or be negative. Yes, it's useful to you to have him here. He's here in daytime, in nights without fear. He's greater than zero. He's more than one. The sum of his parts, a coachload of fun. He comes with good news, stuff you want to hear. He's here in the daytime, a night without fear. Thank you. And and as a special surprise, I'm now going back to special school and writing a poem about special school survival. We survived the institution, its rules and regulations. We also survived each other. This one's called Rumi. Frightened eyes beneath elongated fringes cast furtive glances at the Rumi. The blue door has a glass window. Look out to see nothing. Look in to retain control. The Rumi, he stands apart from you in the ordered lines, sharing his name through the osmosis of a register, or a despairing wail of the housemaster as another bout of Rumi clumsiness creates chaotic halls. We stand at night in fear of Rumi or the silent tread of a prying would-be world leader. Yet from time to time we demonstrate another way forward through a collective will. But 11 boys make a losing team of willing triers, mastering the art of the pass. The pavilion room we painted orange, a red dancette, a melodic noise it makes. If only we could have held it all together, building, making, painting brighter colours. I thank you. Right, I'm always encouraged to see positive relationships between mothers and sons. But 66 years on, mine's improving. This one's called Message to a Son. How do you see yourself standing as you are in a plush Art Deco building, shouting out what you're about new, as if someone is listening, like no one nowhere ever heard all this before? Get your hair cut, have a shave. Every time you deign to rain across my decrepit threshold, shame, shame, shame. Otherwise, nothing stays the same. Who do you think you are, an angel? No oil painting, that's for sure. No better than you should be, a no one, a no number son. A time has come, move on, move on. The sun, he stops, takes it in again, waiting for a rage to strike, waiting as if a vandal at her gate sees his mom, the only one. Is it time? Should he go? Why so slow? Well, cheers, everybody. Right, back in January, Michelle was RMC, and she instituted a 5-minute comfort break. And so we take a 5-minute comfort break and come back with Mavis.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh dear. What's happening? What is happening?
A 5-minute break,
Oh,
a
right.
5-minute comfort break.
Okay.
Say hello to Denis.
Hello,
There.
Joyce.
Ah,
Joyce.
Hello, hello.
Nice to see you there. Have you been writing a lot?
I
Sorry?
miss you.
Have you been writing a lot?
No,
no.
not at all. Well,
You wrote one little poem, didn't you?
oh yes,
About your brother-in-law.
my brother-in-law, who was a real country boy, and when it was called "Your Country Needs You," and I can't remember what it is now.
Do you want me to find it?
No, it's not worth it.
Oh.
Joyce, I will.
You
I,
see,
I know you have.
No, you can't both speak at the same time. One of you speaks and the other one listens.
Okay, I'm talking now. I know you have trouble with your hearing like me. I'll email you the stuff I read tonight.
You see, I can't hear.
He says he will email you the stuff he read tonight.
Okay, yes, do, please.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. You see, Christopher and I, he belongs to this and to the old one, you know,
The writing group that.
Yeah, the writing group.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, the what you used to belong to that, didn't you?
No,
No.
not that one. No. I only belong to the one in at the institution.
Yes, but this one is a sort of a reincarnation down the line of
All right. Okay.
well, some of the people from that, I think.
All right. Okay. Well,
They're very fussy about who they'll have.
that what?
They're very fussy about who they'll have in their group.
Yeah.
I'm very fussy about whom I go to.
Well, yeah. You're in then. You're in.
What did he say?
He said he's very fussy about who he will join.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes, that's the secret.
Am I good enough to join your golf club? You know, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes. Well, Groucho Marx.
Anyway.
Groucho Marx saying.
You see,
Wait a minute. You can't both speak at the same time. Denis is telling you something about Groucho Marx when he was going to.
Groucho Marx, he resigned from his club, a golf club, I think, because he said he couldn't belong to a club that accepted members like him.
Oh, yes.
That's right. Yeah. Anyway, I was in that, and then he came. I was getting doddery, more and more doddery, and he brought me to it, and came and collected me afterwards, and somehow or other, he took over from me, and they said quite definitely, we don't want both of you in it at the same time, and I can understand that very well. So now it's him. So that's once a week. So he produces a poem once a week.
No, I don't produce a story for that one.
A story, or it's a story.
Yes. Yeah, that's not a poetry group. It's a story group.
It's a story group.
Writing group, yeah.
Gwyneth?
So he produces a
sorry.
story for that once a week. And because they're polite, they say, oh, didn't Joyce write anything? Although they said they don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes I come up with something very short.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes she writes a short poem.
Yeah, I can't write stories. I can't do stories.
No,
So
I've
that's
tried
one
stories.
thing that goes on is him writing a story and me possibly coming up with a very short poem for once a week. And then there's this one once a month.
Yes.
Then there's something else. What is it?
No, there's nothing else.
Nothing else.
No.
Yes, I mean, I'm finding now I'm writing very uninspired poetry. I'm just fiddling around with it. I've been inside too long, and I've got this diary that I send out.
Yes.
My efforts.
Yes.
Yes, you can publish your diary at some point.
Well, he's written it for the future.
I know.
So that people in the future will know what it was like.
Yes, yes.
Well, in a very middle class part of London.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Gwyneth,
got people all over the world.
Are you writing a poem?
Am I writing a poem?
Yes.
At the moment in time?
Oh, I thought you were.
I'm trying.
No, I mean that.
Yes, I am trying. Yes. For the second half, right?
All right.
I feel like the teacher who spots you behind your.
Ah, right.
Doing something
underneath the desk, doing what I didn't ought. Yes.
Writing a poem, disgraceful.
Yes, not to me. You should be doing.
Yes. We'll send you some virtual chocolate, Gwyneth. That will make you right.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Oh, don't talk about chocolate. I had a whole box of chocolates in 2 days this last couple
Oh
of
dear.
I know it's tempting, isn't it?
Well, you write a poem about it.
Hmm. What's it called?
Chocolate, green and black.
Oh, look at that. Gwyneth, look what
Yes,
Rich has got for you.
Green and black.
Well, you better run
milk
across the
chocolate.
road with it then.
Right, it's organic.
Right.
Right, so I can't risk it on Gwyneth. It might be too strong for her.
Look,
Oh, Lindo.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yes.
It's a chocolate
Got one
competition. We
left.
had the hat competition in our first round. But Seamus has changed his hat. So 1948, I reckon that's about 5 minutes.
Well,
where's Seamus gone?
I changed mine as well. There you are.
Is
There you
there?
are. That, you,
No.
Looks very sort of businesslike. Oh, it's Batman. Is it Batman or Inari's or somebody?
So Mavis, would you like to read 2 poems? Can I suggest we try and get another 2 poems in each, everybody?
Okay.
Well, not from us, you won't.
Well, I'll try. I've got one. So I'm absolutely crazy about full moon, and I've got one on the screen because my printer's broken down and I couldn't print it. And do you know the sonnet by Philip Sidney, with how sad steps, O moon, thou climbst the skies, how silently and with how wan a face. And I love that poem, but I notice it's a very negative poem because he's imagining the moon is like someone who's lost his beloved. Anyway, I was watching the moon rise and I was feeling very positive about it. So I wrote this poem, if I can make it work. Can you see me?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
love it quite.
Because I'm looking at my screen at the moment. So anyway, it's called With How Glad Steps. I watch the moon rise from behind chimney pots and aerials that incise strange scribblings across singed orange spots. I watch the moon swing surely free of all earth's silly blots, sailing a broad arc triumphantly. Orange transmuting to piercing silver blue, she floats, pure orb suspended clear, spread eagle density of mountains, valleys, craters, moats, consumed into molten ice, haloed freezingly. Clean beaming your space echoing notes, with how glad steps, O moon, thou climbst the skies, how eagerly and with how keen a face. Right, that's my version.
Is that your version, Sydney? Is that your version of Philip Sidney's?
Philip Sidney's
Oh,
Miserable.
What is it called again?
With how sad steps, O moon.
Oh, sorry.
With how sad steps.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll Google it.
Yes.
See which is the better version.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have to give it to Philip Sidney. I think he's absolutely brilliant. He was a friend of Queen Elizabeth I, wasn't he? And so on. I got another poem which I wrote years ago, but I've just got it out and revised it. And does anyone know the North Downs near Guildford? Lovely walks. I go there.
I know it, yeah. I go there
We
sometimes.
first went as a family in 1958, and I've been going.
Sorry, what was this?
the North Downs near Guildford.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Purely down, and you go to St Martha's Hill where there's a chapel on the top.
That church, yes.
Pilgrim's Way.
I know it
This-
because I wrote a guide to the North Down.
Oh,
North
did
Downs
you?
Way
Yeah, yeah.
40
Oh,
years
well.
ago, and I can still see that church. Very
Yes.
isolated.
Yes, yes. Well, if I need to get out of London, I can't do it at the moment, but I go to Waterloo Station and jump on the train to Guildford and do a day's circular walk
Yeah.
home. I always feel better. But this was a poem. This was just conversations I overheard and comparing them with the natural world around me. And it's called Stockbroker Country Walk. Doing very well by all accounts. I always knew he had it in him, but flicking fly from frock, his brother's just a dead loss. A Blutit family ranges the thicket, a dozen young at the very least, competing each for the next beakful. How many will see the summer's end? Yes, he works for the CBI, a struggle, but he's getting there. Good for him, great future. Distinguished heads nodding sagely. Through the undergrowth, pushing upwards, an orchid makes the light of day. Ventures tentative, a single flower, promise of richer things to come. It all depends how you invest it. But, she argues, loudly confident, I was only reading the other day. Banks, shambles, got to change. Only look into the woods at foxgloves deep in secret shade. File upon glowing file of them, compound interest inestimable. Would you refill the teapot, darling, and bring that gâteau out here? Perhaps we'll have the ice cream later. What about the strawberries, dear? Just beyond their shaded terrace, tall fencing safe between, a scavenging fox circles and sniffs, burnished by the tea-time sun. Out of it all, hunched in a hedgerow, a wasted woman, skin parched, lost, shaking her head with a bitter smile, speaks her woes to a smug world. 40 years, Africa, warring frontiers, cut off by my father without a penny. Pension? No chance. A tent in the woods? But I couldn't stand the winter cold. A lone stag chews a final mouthful, then settling content among damp leaves, with quiet eyes, blinks slowly at setting sun and falls asleep.
That's lovely. Thank you.
What a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good
it
idea
just
for a
happened,
poem.
you know, it was one of those lucky days. Thank you.
So our next reader is Gwyneth.
Right. I shall try. I'm having problems with my lights, but lights and lights. Right. This one is called The Living World. And I wrote it in the first lockdown and finished it in the second lockdown. Because I can't get where I want to get, I discovered what was on my doorstep. So, the oak spreads wide, the ash grows tall. The old gnarled cherry tree, waiting a while to share her fragrance with all who care. When I followed the trail of the old stone steps, I discovered the beauty of a secret garden hidden amongst the sheltering trees. A garden created to stand in time. Apple and pear trees still sometimes fruiting. A spreading damson eager to fruit. Brambles and elderberries, wild strawberries, a long carpet of grass, a living meadow, sharing the treasures of wild flowers in season. The living earth apparently sleeping, yet all the while alive with life, sharing its vitality, restoring my soul. My place is in this living world, protecting the balance of wildlife and nature from humanity's thoughtless, careless destruction. Okay. So that was me finding a garden that kept me out of mischief. And I discovered it was beautiful in its wildness. So that's the living world.
Where is the chairman?
The chairman?
Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Right. He must have been having another fly break.
Another
Not
5 minutes.
me.
So
Always pay attention, me.
right. And I've got one also about the garden, which is searching for birds. Searching for birds. The chitter-chatter of magpies, the squeaks of the parakeets, the early morning calls of throaty wood pigeons. But where are the songbirds I long to hear? Nowhere to be seen. In the big spreading trees, they're far away at the foot of the garden, in the old fruit and nut trees. Are the big birds bully birds? Does their size intimidate the robin and the blue tits?
No.
In silence, I listen to the songs of the songbirds. At my feet, blue shading through to purple, an abstract of clouds of crocuses bloom. Right, that's another bit of the garden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, excellent, Gwyneth. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you.
Right, and now, welcome back,
I'll do something.
Seamus.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
Oh, a hat.
I've got one of those hats from when I was a kid.
I have it. I was a raver.
Oh, right. Well, I had one before anyone was a raver.
Yeah. This, I mean, I don't know whether you've been watching the news, but you know, we people from Northern Ireland live and set our clocks by the news. But it's quite funny what's happening over in Northern Ireland as a result of Brexit. You know, the unionists are thinking, "Oh, woe is me! We're all, you know, we're going to break our umbilical cord with the Queen." And it's hilarious because if they sat down and thought about the economics of it, and the Northern Ireland is in a beautiful situation where they've got the best of both worlds.
Yes.
Because they're in Europe and they've got a free hand with them. But just before this fracas about the border broke out, there was, I don't know whether you saw it, there was a protest about flags and colour and the orange, the green, the blue. It was just hilarious, but it was dangerous because it, you know, it was one tradition fighting another tradition, and you know, color over here is probably taboo because, you know, it's either black or white or brown, you know what I mean? But over there it's green, white and orange, you know what I mean? So anyway, one day I wrote this poem about color, and it's directed at Northern Ireland. And the other thing, the DUP, God love them, who don't believe in dinosaurs existed. The other thing they don't believe in is in anything to do with gay rights or anything like that. So, you know, they're dinosaurs themselves. But anyway, it's called Off Color. On a day beyond days, as I gaily did wander, the peath neath my feet did ferry me on. The wheelbarrow birds in dainty formation, webs made a beeline, and time swung along. The ill-mannered when it bid me good morning, and buttercups sparkled, all dappled with gold, and the bluebells rung out in perfect profusion. The brave silver birch shone like armor of old. By the shores of Lough Erne, my breath nearly left me, for I swear that I heard that green isn't right, like orange, red, and blue mix up the old rainbow. Oh, colourblind bigots, I pity your plight. Well, back to me dander, to muse and to ponder why colonized colour could cause so much strife. Was gawking at Dawkins and ragweeds whites walking, and nettles and thistles invaded high life. By Bilberry Bay, an atheist heather ambushed a staunch fuchsia and led into a hedge. In this dazzling fight, the bumblebee rumbled, how one man's wrong is no other man's right. So come all you rare breeds of every persuasion, don't dare tell me that orange isn't right, like green, red, and blue make the annals of Ulster. Oh, colourblind bigots, go give up the fight. There you go. I'd like to tell that one to Arlene Foster, God rest her.
Right.
And the other one I've sort of pulled out of the annals of, I sued Haringey once, and I did win, but it was an empty victory because basically, again, it had to do with European law. It was an empty victory because this stupid government, Tony Blair had instigated at the time. It was a law from Europe that was, although it was applicable in the UK, wasn't enforceable, if that makes sense. But anyway, so it was an empty victory. It was to do with a big building on the Archway Road, which I got declared illegal, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's called the Hedges of Heaven, because I live opposite the Highgate Woods, and they cut a load of trees down just to put up this north circular development on the Archway Road. If you ever go past us, it's a builder centre and Juicens builders. If you ever have to go in there, don't do it. You know, don't do it. Go elsewhere. I'm ditching the hedges of heaven, that God-given high in the sky, and to hell with hell's invitations. Let's just adjourn sine die. Life lets the fools fake all the rules, of course then enforce them, the swine. Lost to that mean mass of matter is nothing, provided it's mine. I'm chasing my name, swapping places. I'm trading in used alibis. So when the five forces come looking, they'll wonder and wander on by. I, like the breeze, stuck in the trees, rumbling bees trading lines, stick signs of painted perfection up where the sun doesn't shine. When I'm nearly departed, about to exhale my last sigh, drain a full glass of reflection and watch the parade cry on by. I'm no one's fool, acting it cool, breaking in wind from behind, and lost to me doesn't matter, provided you leave me my mind. I'm feeding you misinformation to let you, to leave you depressed and forlorn. I promise I never will leave you, but come back and haunt you with scorn. Don't be a fool, caught between stools, up front at the back of the brawl. Loss has a mean mass of matter, injustice, no justice at all. Gavin versus Haringey.
Seamus,
Yeah,
where you said that in Northern Ireland, you set your time by the news.
yeah.
When I worked in Northern Ireland, the Proddies set their time by the Battle of the Boyne, and the Fenians set their time by the arrival of Oliver Cromwell.
And some of them set it by the time of the bomb they're just about to set off. If you know what I mean. Yeah, it's a sad land over there.
Excellent.
But
So
there's one good thing about
Michelle.
one good thing about the mainland is you teach us humanity, if that makes sense, because you know you blend. It's a melting pot of cultures.
Yeah.
And they don't know about that over there. You have to leave to come to appreciate the culture,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the wealth of the culture.
Yeah.
You know, but they're all narrow-minded bigots over there. Most of them.
Oh,
On both
Sorry
sides.
about that. Oh yeah, definitely on both sides. I'm not taking sides when I say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked there once in Belfast doing some disability training for the BBC, and I got off the plane and the cab driver said, "Oh, you know, we've got pavements painted red, white, and blue, and white, orange, and green."
Yep.
And I just thought he was taking the piss out of us, so he drove us to them and showed us.
Mm-hmm.
It was like unreal, and I was there when the marches started. And I felt like I was in an Adolf Hitler movie with a mixture of sort of Notting Hill Carnival with all the people with bags of beer. It was really strange for me. And I was with an Asian woman who I was working with, and everyone would just go, "Tourists, they're tourists." It was weird because we didn't look like them.
Okay, we're a little bit short of time now.
Anyway, shall I? Okay, I'll begin then.
Okay, Michelle.
This one's called COVID Sex. Sex under the blanket of COVID-19. Sex is still on the menu. In some countries, you choose a partner to lock in with during lockdown. Such a reasonable request. Sex. A pleasure to enjoy with another. A comfort and intimacy. In a silent city where little moves. Let's screw. As this lockdown drags on and on, you stay inside your nest. Do others roll about on sheets? I bet. But for those who live alone, masturbation is an essential part of daily life. Sex toys, go for it. Sex lights up our lives with play. Toys, yes. Sex toy sales improve as one-night stands and condoms plummet. An unmet need of sex partners, sweaty bodies, and if you're lucky, sticky mess, long-time plungers, gentle thrust and breathless motions, romantic words make some distractions, others in coupledom, locked up 24/7, sometimes stuck screaming up the walls where once there was a living room, is now an office. Loved ones once excited to meet, crammed into matchboxes, now always on each other's feet. There's VOP phones, laptops, mobiles, electric cables causing spaghetti junctions that could trip you up, wound you up, would not be allowed on an office floor. Home space is an office floor. Kitchen is a canteen. It's an office from floor to ceiling. The phones are always ringing. There's nowhere to go. There is no garden, just a balcony. So that we can miss out on each other's glow, longings change, friendships must proceed. Food, a large part of the conversation. Play the guitar and sing some songs. Romance and lust need sparks after dusk. Remove the workroom from the living room. Create that no-stress zone. Like candles, burn oils. Create the romantic zone. It's fun time, and everyone's on Zoom in your living room. Your private space is the no-stress zone. Someone's camera is on their crutch without pants. Their balls are all over Zoom, and we laugh and we dance. Some are on Blue Jeans or Skype. Then there's Teams. That's really serious. or Facebook for live parties. There's spare rooms to hang out in. Where's the work phone? The living room is now an office, which is now a conference, which is now a party space. You can leave the party space and retire to the bedroom. In the bedroom, you can rock your socks off. It's still a bedroom with no camera, no headset, sheets to hide under, and a body to roll over, a person to tickle who knows you're there, a mouth to stick your tongue in, and someone to do deep breathing. You don't need the details of a romp, of sweaty and gooey stuff that makes a mess and helps you rest your sleepy head. Holding hands, you close your eyes. Time to dream. There you go.
Like that.
Thank you. I think we're living at work, not working from home.
But Mr. Herbstein.
Yeah, I've got, I mean, I haven't written anything else, but I've got a poem which I don't think I've read from a very fine book of poetry. Sold 5 copies, I think. And it's
Right, I bought one of them.
One of the animal things. Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's I was coming home up Swains Lane between the 2 cemeteries some years ago, and there was a cat there which I always knew when I walked up and down, a lovely cat. And I was chatting to my son, who I just picked up at the airport, driving very slowly. It's called The Ninth Life. He's his own man, not for him. Look left, look right, look left again. Quick as you can over the road, through the palings into the cemetery for some afternoon sport. A vole, perhaps, to tease, and then the tasty thrust, a crust dropped by a disciple at the stone of the philosopher, a fledgling thrush caught unawares. Shh, there's my cool coney. Woof, missed him. We'll have him soon enough. So here he comes, a smudge of chestnut, a shrunken blur of fluff under the wheels. The backbone cracks, but still momentum enough to fly the palings and be lost in the dark and break the heart of she who at 7 o'clock will empty a tin of Felix chicken in jelly into the tray on the kitchen floor.
Wonderful. I should get my cats and show you.
Don't talk about Philip Sidney when you hear poetry like that. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Denis. I've got one last one. People tell me that poetry is about truth. Well, I'm about to tell you a lie. I live in a block of flats. It's hard to meet people here. People who speak to people, people who don't. And up on the top floor, I have a professor, and we're actually friends now. But anyway, it starts as a lie, and it's about my neighbour, Rashmi. Rashmi, did you know it took you 2 years to say hello? I used to shout, there is no doubt, a snobby Indian, but as it turns out, you're upstairs, we're downstairs. It doesn't mean we workers are unaware. Regardless of your roots, you're as common as old boots. To risk one of your cold skulls, you're as rough as old arseholes. In the past we were around a bend, in future times we're always friends. I think that's quite a nice way to finish, that in future we're all going to be friends and we might meet again one time at 10A South Grove, where I might have to increase prices, incidentally, because the Highgate Society says it wants to make £28 a meeting from us, which isn't a bad rent, I don't think. So, as Seamus earlier proposed, for our challenge next time, we take in the beginning. Right, any advances on that? Any amendments?
What is it going to be?
In the beginning.
In the beginning.
Oh, in
Yeah.
the beginning. Genesis.
In the beginning.
What's the word?
In the beginning. That's right. In the beginning was the word.
Yeah.
The word was with God.
The Lord said, "Let there be light," and there was light, and you bugger, you could see for miles.
And I bet there was no electricity bill either.
Exactly, and no council tax,
Yeah.
and no COVID.
Is that what it's going to be?
In the beginning.
It hadn't been a twinkle in the eye of wherever.
I mean, I'm not sort of tying you down to something. I mean, it's always good to have two.
How about in the end?
In the beginning and the end. That's a nice one, yeah.
Or in between?
Or reboot.
Okay, I accept that. I accept in the beginning and in the end.
Or in the beginning. Oh, okay. In the beginning and in the end.
Something happened in the middle.
Right, or.
Okay.
And or maybe.
Sorry, Richard, what did you say the Highgate Society wants? I missed that.
£28 a meeting.
£28.
Yeah. And most meetings we make it, right, however it might mean each of us paying £3 instead of £2 in future. I just wanted you all to know that because it could be we will go live again quite soon.
How do we get the money to you?
Collect it at the door.
Yeah.
Have a door lady who collects it.
Oh, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but if any of us didn't come in person, if we still had Zoom as an option too.
Yeah. Right. Our Zoom meetings are free.
Yeah. I mean, but it's just how do we get the money? We poach it through Highgate store or something and market for the Highgate Portrait Society?
No, there isn't any need to pay it until we return.
When you turn up.
10A.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I better get
It's a
another
freebie tonight, and all of our Zoom meetings have been freebies.
But I think what we're asking, will we have Zoom as well? Because that would mean a wider group could come.
Right, I don't know how we'll be able to do that when we're live again.
Because we could just take a laptop to the society.
Yeah, but would everybody hear it?
Yeah, if we could have some speakers.
Okay.
I suppose we could have some speakers for one. Or a little amplifier, an external one.
Yeah.
I mean, if the worst came to the worst, you could come to this room where I'm sitting now. It's a very large room, and going on out into a patio with water above the other side.
Yeah. But I'd
And
like to keep faith with the Highgate Society.
I'd only charge £25.
There's a bidding war going on now.
Plus VAT.
I think that's the beginning of the end. The beginning.
No, it shouldn't be. It should be fine.
And I'm just at the back of the Highgate Society, of which I'm a member. And I mean, the annual subscription is only £12.
Yeah. So we wait
I
until
don't know,
we
I
get
think
back
it's more than
into
that.
and
I'm sorry, Seamus?
Anyway, I think we just go on writing poems.
Yeah, I think that's a very good idea. Write some poems, because I think actually it might be longer than we think, because I just think it's very early days.
Yeah.
yeah.
And also I think for some people travel, even if some things do open up, travel's a bit
We don't
worrying.
want to travel on
Yeah.
public transport.
It's
Mhm.
public transport, yeah.
Yes.
And especially the underground.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's me personally anyway. I haven't been on the underground since this started.
Is there Wi-Fi in the Highgate Society?
Yeah.
So you could bring along a computer and do a Zoom, but live round the table like we used to do, and have people long distance who can attend as well.
Yeah.
Just an idea, Richard.
Yeah. Well, Michelle suggested that as well, so maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to say the kind of Highgate Society is increasingly supportive of us. Like kind of publishing our kind of poems on notice boards. I've been involved with a fundraising activity with them to try to kind of get an amplifier and public address and everything like that. And we have had a lot of renovation as well. Is it?
Are they a charity, Richard?
It's a civic society.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Richard, if
Hello.
the Highgate Society gets really shirty, I suggest we send our poems, tell them we'll send our poems to Salvation Army or something.
Yeah, and that will show them.
Yeah. Just publish them in a book and get them to sell them like the big issue.
Yeah. That's something that excites me about having the notice board poems. Right, it gives us a focus for collecting our poems in one place and maybe doing a publication at a later date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the Arts Council have got quite big pots of money at the moment.
I don't think anybody's got pots of money now, but yeah.
Yeah, it's got your contact details, hasn't it, on the bottom of the poems that are on the notice board at the Highgate Society. So I wonder if maybe people might read that and contact you.
Yeah. But I was expecting quite a few new faces. We had 3 or 4 inquiries, right, including Mavis here. Incidentally, Mavis, how was tonight? We can't hear you, Mavis.
She's on mute.
You're on mute.
She's on mute.
I was saying how ghastly it was. No. No, it was very, very good. I was, lovely kind of contrasting poems and some. interesting
thought so.
subject.
And so
I just
can I have your name
I
to
really
our
enjoyed
email
being here.
list?
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, good. So can I add your name to our email list now?
Oh yes, please. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. See
And
you.
did you say you want us
Is
to
it-
send the poems to you?
Well,
No, I'm
you
talking to
don't
Richard.
have to. I mean, in another group I go to, the one in Devon, we have to send our offerings in advance, and then it all goes up on screen. It's very
Oh, right, okay.
very technical,
Good idea.
but I'd rather not have to do that. So let's.
But Richard, did you say you wanted us to send the poems you've read tonight? No. Okay.
Right, what I'll do, Dennis, is I'll send out an email. I'll send out an email to everybody telling them what next month's challenge is
Yes, okay.
and setting a deadline. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to say good night.
Yes, I think I am as well. I got to
See you again.
Me too.
Good night, Dennis.
Right.
Okay.
I'll show you my
Thank you
Good
drawing.
night, Mavis.
Night.
Thank you very much for
Good night, Christopher.
Bye-bye.
hospitality.
Good night.
I'm
Sounds
going
like the Waltons.
Good night, Michelle.
Yeah, no night. Thank you for running it, Richard.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
you.
pleasure.
Everyone.
See you again.
Right.
Good night, Seamus.
Night,
Good
Reg.
night. Good night.
Everyone.
Good night, Seamus, Debbie.
Good night, Mavis. Good night, John Boy.
Christopher.
Night.
Good night, Debbie.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Good
Bye.
night. Sleep tight.
Good night, Christopher.
Bye.
Good night,
Bye.
Mavis.
Bye bye.
The-
Thank
The
you.
beginning of the end of the end of the beginning.
Yeah.
Of the beginning, the end was the start of something, maybe.
It's lovely.
Take care.
Thanks, Reg.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, it sounded like a nice evening.